Something that's been on my mind a lot recently has been the transition from 2D platformers into 3D platformers. Like, how do you just take an established game series that you know already works in this dimension, and now you have to transform it into the third dimension? Generally, it changes completely design-wise, but it still has to be recognizable enough to be part of the same franchise. The classic example is Mario 64. It used to be a game about getting from point A to point B, or sometimes point A, point 5, all while trying to stay alive basically. So when he made the jump to 3D, things got a little different to say the least. The fundamental design of it changed so much. Yeah, you start at point A and you want to get to the star, which is at point B, but you could take this path to get there, or this path, or you can dick around and kill a flower or two on the way there. Sometimes you have to meet certain prerequisites in order for the star to appear though. Killing all boos, collecting 8 red coins, opening the treasure chest in the right order. In those cases, it's no longer get from point A to point B. You have objectives to do in order to be rewarded with the star, which is very different than how Mario used to be. Anyway, when making the transition into 3D, the game devs had to rethink a lot of the main staples of the game, things that you might not even think of, like, how do I even pick a level? It used to be you just navigate a map and press A, but now it's kind of its own little adventure. Which brings me to the main topic of this video, Peach's Castle. This was the first game in the Mario series that introduced the idea of a hub world. You have to play the game in order to, well, play more of the game. The game devs challenged you to explore this new 3-dimensional space, check every door, every little corner, every little thing that looks even remotely suspicious, just so you can access new levels. I guess there is sort of an inkling in this design aspect in the older game. You know, they're still exploring and finding secrets and stuff to unlock different levels, but it works a little bit differently because, well, the secrets aren't where you pick the levels, the secrets are within the level themselves, which you have to find in order to access different levels. So in that sense, Peach's Castle is very different in that you are playing the game in order to get to the other area to play more of the game. So let's talk a little bit about what makes Peach's Castle so good in Super Mario 64, and I'm going to break it down into 3 sections for you. So, like, yeah, of course it's gonna be Peach's Castle, right? I mean, in all the other Mario games, you had to go into Bowser's different castles and fortresses and airships, and yeah. So now we get to explore the giant castle as Mario, which is really cool. And might I say, the Nintendo 64 definitely had limited hardware, but like, bruh, come on, like, they actually did a pretty good job adding in a lot of nice little details that make it feel like an actual believable castle. There's so many different rooms for you to check out. We're talking aquariums, art galleries, dungeons where you can spend the rest of eternity burning in hell, stairs. It's really cool how some rooms just kind of make sense for that level to be there, you know? Like, there's a clock here, and I wonder what kind of level would be if I jumped in it. Okay, yeah, of course this would be a water level. It's in a freaking aquarium, come on. And by the way, there's no other room in the castle that has as much ambience as this one. Like, the lighting's different, and there's just random fish floating around in the aquarium, and it's really cool. Anyway, another great thing about the castle is the interconnectedness of it. Firstly, from the technical point, there's no loading screens when going from room to room or anything. At most, the screen will fade in and out for a very small amount of time, but mostly it's just the animation of Mario closing and opening the door that you have to wait on, and even then it doesn't take that long. But apart from the technical standpoint, the castle all feels interconnected because there's a lot of like alternate pathways or little secret paths you can take in order to go from place to place. One example I can think of is the dungeon. After you drain the water outside, instead of having to go inside and downstairs in the castle to get to Lethal Lava Land, you could just take the door that already is downstairs. And apart from that, sometimes you can find secret exits in levels that'll take you to other parts of the castle or outside, sometimes on accident. Like, I really wanted to see where this area was gonna take me, and I just ended up outside. Come on, bruh. Like if you fall down in that red coin level that's in the sky, you'll end up outside. And you know, it makes sense. If you're flying high in the sky and if you fall down, well, you're just gonna end up outside of Peach's castle. And can we talk about the visual design for this castle? Like, it's so good. I love how it's just full of red carpet everywhere. Like, I can imagine only the finest red carpet for the princess to be installed for her to walk on. And the little paintings on the wall are really cute. It's just hills and clouds that, you know, kind of happen to be in the Mario universe, and now it's on the walls of Peach's castle. Like, it just makes me feel at home, you know what I mean? And even the paintings that aren't actual levels, I've always wanted to go inside of them. Like, there's a little nighttime one that I always wanted to go inside, but I never could because it wasn't a real level. And the brick walls are really nice too. They honestly did a really good job for giving this place the feel of a Mario castle, because it could have just been like a middle-aged castle just full of random torches everywhere and torture devices, or you know, whatever they need, but it's a Mario castle. I also really like playing with the perspective in Little Big World, well, you know, the part in the castle, because you can stand on one side of the room and look towards the end and it looks like it's really far away, or you can stand on the other side and look to the big painting and it doesn't look that far away. But I don't know, it's kind of funny how they were playing with perspective when it came to the 3D space. And while we're at it, let's talk about the music, because Peach's castle theme is really good and it's really iconic, and it makes me feel like I'm walking down the halls of a Mario castle. You know, it's very light and playful, exactly what you would need in a Mario game. But it's also not so, like, it's not too catchy, you know what I mean? Because sometimes there's songs that are too catchy and they get stuck in your head and it's really annoying to listen to them over and over again. But this one is the right amount of catchy to where, at least in my experience, it doesn't get stuck in my head, but every time I hear it, it's, you know, sounds pleasant. Why is there a bunny here? Mips the bunny, huh? Microprocessor without interlocked pipeline stages. That's a mouthful. I think he's meant to show you where Shifting Sandland is, because you could theoretically dive after him and notice that the wall has a ripple effect, but there's a random bunny in the dungeon, which, I don't know, I think that's kind of funny. And can we talk about how weird it is that there's just empty rooms full of paintings? Right? Like, does that make sense, you know? Maybe Peach just likes art. What if it's her paintings that she painted? Who knows? Where's her bedroom? Does she sleep on the floor or something? Or I don't know. One of the most important things that a hub world can do is teach you how to play. Well, it's where you start the game off, right? They're not gonna just throw you straight into a level with fire and obstacles all over the place. No, it's supposed to be your little playground for you to explore and get a feel for the controls and learn how to play, and I think Super Mario 64 does this very elegantly. It's not like obnoxiously in your face saying, hey, push the A button to jump right here, bro, come on. Put that down A button right now when you jump in here, man. No, I mean, there's little hints scattered everywhere that you can read, but you can pretty much get by the whole game without even reading those little hints. And okay, so like my favorite example of it teaching you is like how to jump, you know? Okay, in case you didn't know, the first Goomba in World 1-1 is placed there, so you can pretty much learn how to jump. But now, we're in the 3D space, cowboy. If you were to drop a Goomba somewhere in the hub world, then, I mean, you could just walk around it. So now, how do we teach players to do the most essential thing to do in the game, besides running? Well, you hide it behind progression. You need to jump in order to access the first level, Bob-omb Battlefield. Like, pretend you never heard of Mario and you didn't know he was a jumping kind of guy. Okay, you can make it the whole way to the Bob-omb Battlefield painting without ever actually jumping, you could just run the whole way. But if you want to, actually play the game, you gotta jump, bro. So now you know the basic thing you need in order to get through the game: running and jumping. And besides that, there's little hints that will kind of encourage you to learn more of Mario's moveset. Like, I kind of want to get these coins. Oh, wait, I didn't know Mario could hang off the ledge like that. How am I supposed to get up here? Oh, I can do this thing called a double jump or a somersault or a freaking reverse 360 backwards jump flip. And hey, look, I can get up here with a triple jump. I said, hey, look, I can get up here with a triple jump. Hey, look, I can get up here with a triple jump. Are you serious? Yeah, so there's like little hints scattered throughout Peach's Castle that give you a good idea how to navigate the 3D space and how to master Mario's moveset. And it also helps that they give you a lot of space and leniency to navigate the castle, because imagine if the rooms and hallways were tiny little obstacle courses. Like, no, that's not gonna work. It should be a safe space for you to learn and practice Mario's moveset, because if you die in the hub world, then like the game won't feel safe or as accessible perhaps the game developers wanted it to feel. It's good that the stakes are low, so as you're getting used to the game, then you become better prepared for the actual levels. The most dangerous part of the castle is probably like the courtyard, with all the boos floating around. Wait a sec. The most dangerous part of the castle is probably the courtyard, because the boos are one of the things that actually cause damage. But even then, there's plenty of ways to get your health back. Each boo drops a coin, or you can just take a swim and L is real 2401. And also the cool thing about it is that once you master Mario's moveset, you can get around the castle very quickly. You can jump around, make your own little shortcuts here and there, and I love games that cater to both types of players, beginners and experts, because it just feels good to navigate Peach's Castle. Take little shortcuts, break the game every now and then. So this castle is full of little secrets that you can find to get more stars or power-ups or whatever, and it just kind of completes the entire package. Secrets reward the curious player by giving them more game to play, since they clearly like the game enough to check every little corner, and it feels good to find them, usually. Sometimes it's just like a little one-up or coins or something, but the levels you can find are really cool. And it kind of makes me feel like I'm a little explorer just going around this big place and finding stuff I'm not really supposed to find, but I mean, clearly they had designed it for a reason, for it to be found and played through. And Peach's Castle would have been okay if it didn't have its little secrets, but to be honest, it might have been a little boring if it was just rooms filled with paintings that you jump in. It would feel empty. So the fact that they included secrets really shows that they cared about this place, and they really wanted to make it something more than just a glorified level select. I mean, think about it. It could have been something similar to like Super Mario 3D World, right? It's still technically 3D, but not really. You're not exploring, you're just kind of walking to one area and pressing A to jump into the level. So yeah, Peach's Castle is very different in that sense. So yeah, that's pretty much all of my thoughts on Peach's Castle and why I think it's so well designed. I think the game devs did a really great job on this, because a lot of things could have gone wrong, but they actually did really good the first time around. But I mean, it makes sense, because like if you're gonna keep coming back here, you really want to flesh out the design of this place. It's something that every single person who plays this game will look at, and also something that people will come back to every single time they turn the game on or when they finish a level, because as we all know, once you get a star, you are kicked out of the level. That has its own connotations and issues people have with it, certain ways they feel about it. I'm not particularly gonna get into it, but the fact of the matter is that you always come back to the castle when you finish a level, so you're gonna be seeing this place quite a bit. Later 3D Mario games also had hub worlds, but I think that Peach's Castle is most likely the most iconic one. I have to admit, I really enjoy Delfino Plaza. It's just kind of like this cool little town you can explore and kind of do whatever you want. run around and swim around, and hey, look, Yoshi's here. Mario's Galaxy is a little bit more basic to reflect the more straightforwardness of the game design, but god dang, it's still a pretty cool hub world. But those are topics for other videos. Maybe I've also thought about analyzing Sonic Adventure's hub world and showing how different and interesting it is, because that one is really cool as well. You know, you have to take into account all these different characters you're going to be playing as and their movesets, and you know what do they want to accomplish with this hub world in comparison to something like Mario 64. Anyway, but yeah, let me know which one you would prefer to see, and I'll think about making a video. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but I've been busy. I got a job. It just kind of takes a lot out of me after school, or well, I work in a school, so technically saying after school, even though it's my job, is right. So it's really hard to just, you know, make videos after work. I usually just let my brain rot and play Dragon Ball FighterZ, but yeah, here I am, back, grand return. Hopefully I can make more longer videos, reviewing games back how I used to, like the 3 that I made. I plan on talking about Pikmin 3, I plan on doing Star Fox Zero, and funnily enough, I actually had quite a bit of that script made and quite a bit of gameplay recorded, but it just kind of never came together because, I don't know. But I do have a lot to say about Star Fox Zero. I have a lot to say about Nintendo Land as well, and I want to make a video on it because I've already made a Wii Sports video, and I want to compare the two because they both should have functioned as, you know, the same thing, the same kind of idea, teaching you about the Wii versus teaching you about the Wii U, but it really didn't happen that way. Anyway, I'm just rambling. If you actually watched all the way through, if you watched long enough for me to ramble, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I will try not to take freaking 5-month long breaks anymore because I actually like making videos, and I want to gain a bigger audience because I have like 100 subscribers right now. Whatever. Anyway, God bless ya. Take care. Have a good one.